You ready?
Well, that's where I'll come in. Where they got to set up at the fire hall? Set up fire hall, I think. Jimmy, how are you, sir?
Doing good now.
Yeah, good to hear.
At this time, I'm going to have Brother Al Bug Jr. here from the Smith Grove Church of Christ to lead us in prayer, if you would.
Our Heavenly Father, our holy God, we're thankful for this day that you've granted us, another day of life. We're thankful for the opportunity to live in this country, a country that recognizes and respects your holy word. Lord, as we respect it, we enjoy the freedoms and liberties that are given to us. And Lord, we're thankful for these that stand before us, that choose to make decisions to help this county to be all that it can be. And we pray that you give it vision, that you would give them direction, that you give them leading, that they might follow that leading. We're thankful for the families who have decided to live in this county, to raise their children, to raise their families, to look to the future and to plan, do those things that are necessary for it. Lord, we pray for a blessing upon this county as well as this country. We pray that you'd lead us and direct us, that you'd guide us, our hearts, our minds, that we might continue to have what we've had before, and that we might have it in the future. Lord, we pray that you'd bless this meeting, bless the decisions that are to be made, bless the hearts of those who are involved, that, Lord, that they might work together for the best of this county. Lord, thank you most importantly for Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, who allows us such liberty and such freedoms. As it permeates the documents of this country, may it continue to permeate the future of this country also, and of this county. For it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
If you remain standing, Miss Tracy Neal will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Bobby, if you could call the roll, please.
Present.
Here.
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 Here. Here. Here. Here. Here.
Here. Okay, the next order of business is the summary of the last meeting's minutes and the approval. Have y'all all read the summary that I sent to you? Is there any discussion on it? Will someone make a motion to affirm them, please?
I'll make a motion.
We'll have them. And then Jim Bush.
Mark Fox,
Yes.
Russell Reed,
Yes.
Todd Oliver,
Yes.
Jim Manley,
Yes.
Jim Bush,
Yes.
Kevin George,
Yes.
Brandon Higgins,
Yes.
Tony Neal,
Yes.
Kevin Mooneyham,
Yeah.
Rod Stephen,
Yes.
all five, motion carried.
I need to make, we need to have committee reports right now. And you have some reports to give to us, Mr. Barker?
Yes, the Budget Committee met at 5 p.m. Just before this meeting, and we considered the budget amendments that were before us, and I think you all have copies of them. The first one we'll consider is the Sheriff's Department. It's on a page that looks like this right here. The biggest part of it was insurance recovery. $4,100, and they $4,411, I mean, and they increased maintenance repair on vehicle for that money because it was an insurance recovery, and then some of this money from commissary and different things, and they increased different lines and decreased other lines. And Darrell is right over there if you have any questions, but the Budget Committee has already reviewed it and they passed it. And I'll make a motion that we, that the full committee pass this budget.
Question, is that increasing salaries or what?
Salary supplements that the officers get each year from the state.
Pardon?
Salary supplements that officers get each year that are certified from the state.
Okay.
Each year, they have to be updated.
$600 to every officer that's certified. So he's basically showed where, like, he got the $600, he has 2 deputies, he got 1,800 of them, and that's how it broke down.
And that goes statewide,
Yeah.
okay?
Second your motion to approve.
And who was the one that,
Mark.
I made the motion.
okay, Mark did, and then Kevin Mooneyham seconded it.
Mark Parker,
Yes.
Russell Reed,
Yes.
Todd Osborne,
Yes.
Kenny Dingle,
Yes.
Jim Bush,
Yes.
Kevin George,
Yes.
Brent Higgins,
Yes.
Tony Neal,
Yes.
Kevin Mooneyham,
Yes.
Bob Stuckey.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, the next one was from the schools that came before us, and there are 2 from the food service budget and 2 from the regular school budget. And we considered the 2 from the food service budget together. It's for USDA commodities. The auditors told them that they needed to, even though they only had to pay the shipping to get these commodities in, they had to put a value on them and put them in their revenue, because they got them. And the other one is for $20,000 to decrease some produce that they had on hand. Is that right, Kevin? Or was it produce, wasn't it? No. Go ahead, Jennifer.
It was just a decrease. We overspent in the line item of $499 with food, so we just from fund balance, we underestimated that expenditure and the rest.
Okay. So the $20,000 is just to level out the purchases that you did make.
Right, which was
Okay.
produce, that's where you go.
Okay, that's
The balance in the line.
Yeah, it's balanced in that line. And the budget committee passed both of these together, and I'll make a motion that we pass them together also.
I'll second.
Mark Parker,
Yes?
Russell Reed,
Yes.
Todd Osborne,
Yes.
Kenny Dingle,
Yes.
Jim Bush,
Yes.
Kevin George,
Yes.
Brent Higgins,
Yes.
Tony Neal,
Yes.
Kevin Mooneyham,
Yes.
Bob Stuckey.
Yes.
Motion carried.
The next 2 are from the regular school budget. One of them is for $24,800, and it decreases regular teacher salaries and increases expenditures on all these other things. The director of schools told us that special education is costing us more every single year, and you can see that some of the line items only increases $100. So they scattered that money on all these lines that were getting close. That's the $24,800. The $10,400, they had open enrollment again for their medical insurance and had some more people get on medical insurance. And so they decreased regular teacher medical insurance and increased the medical insurance on all these other places, VOED, attendance, guidance counselors and stuff like that. Is that a good explanation?
Remember, they told us last year that the open enrollment was coming, and that's what it amounted to.
So this $10,400 is moved from regular teacher medical insurance to other teacher medical insurance is basically what it's doing. Other support staff medical insurance, correct? Okay. And so I'll make a motion that we approve both of these together also.
Second that.
Bush.
Mark Parker,
Yes?
Russell Reed,
Yes.
Todd Osborne,
Yes.
Kenny Dingle,
Yes.
Jim Bush,
Yes.
Kevin George,
Yes.
Brent Higgins,
Yes.
Tony Neal,
Yes.
Kevin Mooneyham,
Yes.
Bob Stuckey.
Yes.
Motion carried.
The next one is the one from the county executive's office on county general. You see, it looks like this right here. This year, there are 27 pay periods, according to the day that they're paid on, instead of 26. All of the counties ended up or any business that was paying on pay periods like this ended up with this same problem. But they have to add a little bit to every single pay period, but they will be getting a check at the last Friday, where's Diane?
6/29.
6/20, yeah, whatever day of the week 6/29's on. On the 29th of June, they'll get a check, and then won't have to pay another check for 2 weeks over into July. And you see all of those,
All the elected officials, they at the beginning of the fiscal year, they leveled their checks so that this wouldn't happen with them, but they can't do that with
These are hourlies, I guess.
with their salary, but everything's based on an hourly rate.
Right.
So they couldn't level theirs. We just have to give them another week's pay.
But we get it
Because
back
there's-
next year, though.
That's right, it'll go right back next year, just like it has been for the last 13 or 14.
and the Budget Committee heard the explanation, and they passed on this budget amendment, and I'll make a motion that we pass it.
The 150, need to mention that 152,000 on that tower.
Oh, yes.
That's money that came in to pay
Page
for that.
2.
We're just showing we got it in and
Yeah,
paid it.
halfway down page 2, there's $152,000 for the communications tower that's built up on Pleasant Ridge. And that money came in, and that increased the Homeland Security funds. But the tower's built, it's completed, is that correct, Mike? Almost? It's completed. Okay, good. And we voted to pass all of these in the Budget Committee. Are there any questions? I'll make a motion that we pass them in this committee also.
Second.
Art Carter,
Yes?
Russell Lee,
Yes.
Todd Oliver,
Yes.
Jimmy Nichols,
Yes.
Jim Bush,
Yes.
Kevin George,
Yes.
Lee Higgins,
Yes.
Tony Neal,
Yes.
Kevin Mooney,
Yeah.
Bob Stuckey,
Yes.
Barry.
The next one is, you see, it looks like this right here. We consider them together because they're about our liability insurance and audit services. We had to pay for the audit of REACH that ended up finding how much money was missing. And then we also, the second part of it is the deductible for our liability insurance, where we had a lawsuit against the Sheriff's Department by Miss Bailey, right? And so we have met our deductible, but it was $7,500. And then we had to pay the audit, but the attorneys are going to try to recoup what we're out for that audit even. The reason the audit was so extensive is because it had several different locations and several different people to interview. Any questions? And you may have heard the, Mike, you want to give any more explanation of it?
You're right.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, you did a good job.
It's just two bills we have to pay. We got to pay our deductible. And the Budget Committee passed that on to this committee, and I'll make the motion to pass it again.
I'll second.
Art Carter,
Yes?
Russell Lee,
Yes.
Todd Oliver,
Yes.
Jimmy Nichols,
Yes.
Jim Bush,
Yes.
Kevin George,
Yes.
Lee Higgins,
Yes.
Tony Neal,
Yes.
Kevin Mooney,
Yes.
Bob Stuckey,
Yes.
motion carried.
The next one is a budget amendment from the County Election Commission. They're proposing to move $1,000 out of legal notices and put it into salary and put $3,000 out of maintenance.
No.
Is that right?
The legal notice is
Is
the,
the three?
well, 332 is legal notices, 435 is office supplies, 1,000 is coming out of
Okay,
it.
okay.
They're only,
Thank you.
that's right.
And 3,000 is going into clerical positions.
It's clerical. Anyhow, they've got two categories they're moving money out of, a total of $4,000 and going into the salary that they've already paid.
I only got
And-
$3,000 going into that salary.
Yeah,
3.
right.
The $1,000 is going into
Office supplies.
office
Office
supplies.
supplies, okay.
Right,
3,000 then.
that's right.
You're right. This budget, this passed the Budget Committee, and that's why it's being presented to y'all.
Can we break this down, can we break those line item movements into 2 different votes?
You can do whatever you want to. Vote for it. You gotta have a motion.
You know, we're getting back to where we was last time. I mean, we'd already done a budget on this.
Here's what we were told, was that and it wasn't a unanimous vote on the Budget Committee. Here's what we were told, was that the Election Commission themselves had voted to make it where she would be on salary $19,500, and that's all she could be paid next year. So this can't happen again, and we can't get our money back. We have to pay her.
Well, the thing about it is, they ain't had their meeting. Their meeting's Thursday.
I know that's what we were told.
Until I see something in writing, I'm sorry.
I mean, this came from, I don't know who sent it, but it's got all their names on top of it. I'm assuming that came from the Election
Well, I
Commission.
know, but I don't see everybody's signature on it either.
We were told that if we don't approve the $3,000, there'd be a audit finding.
Oh, well,
That's what 3 people on the Budget Committee did, same thing you did.
I'm sorry.
There's 3 of us against it, 3 for it, and Mark broke the tie for it,
To pass it on.
to pass it on to the commission.
Their budget was set.
Let's roll them together and make a vote. I'll make a motion, we vote on it.
To vote on it, to
Yes,
approve it.
to approve it.
Re-explain that to me.
All right, if you look at the $1,000, that 5150, 332 is legal notices and maintenance, okay?
That one is clerk, your
All right.
office supplies.
The 5150-435 is office supplies, that's where they're moving it to. All right, the 3,000 is coming out of maintenance and repair, which is 337, and they're moving the 3,000 from there into the line of 162, which is clerical positions. Salaries, correct,
One clerical position.
correct.
We can't stop, we can't get our money back, period. But it boils down to a matter of principle.
Exactly. If they do it, all the other departments could do the same thing.
Okay, there's been a motion made, we need a second.
Second.
Clint Higgins made the motion, Kevin Mooneyham seconded, that we approve what the county budget has already approved for the election commission.
Mark,
Yes.
Russell Reed,
No.
Todd Hollingsworth,
Yes.
Jimmy Neal,
Yes.
Jim Bush,
No.
Kevin George,
No,
Clint Higgins,
No.
Tony Neal,
Yes.
Kevin Mooneyhan,
Yes.
Bob Stetson,
Yes.
Carr, Ford, and Murphy.
Bob,
Any more?
is this gonna happen again?
In the proposed budget, the hours are set. I think the election commission is looking at 30 to 32 hours, which is standard for 8-hour days. At the same pay that she's always made. Overtime it costs. No increase in salary.
No what, Stan?
No increase in salary. The same pay she's been making for 3.5 years. Per hour.
Well, when she's on salary, she's gonna have to, get the job
she was
done.
on salary last year.
And that,
No, she was on hours.
Oh,
well,
sorry.
that was a misunderstanding then, because the Budget Committee felt like she was on salary. But we've got a impasse between the
When you vote
election
on a
commission
number,
and this commission.
when you vote on an annual number,
That's right.
that's a salary.
That's a salary.
There's not a misunderstanding there.
No, I mean about from them to us.
Yeah,
This shouldn't have had to come before us.
no. This should have never happened.
Why we're making discussion now when we've already passed it? I
When
think,
we're right here on the end of the year and we're ready for the next budget, I don't have to do this again next year.
Seeing what's going to come to us next time.
And when is y'all's budget gonna come to the budget committee?
They're voting on it Thursday night. I
Thursday
submitted
night.
it to them last month.
Okay? That's everything that came before the budget committee, Bob.
Thank you, Mark.
And if there's anything else, I don't know of.
Okay, let me give you a little hint of what this meeting, that would take care of, having the budget there, that would take care of,
5 and 6.
okay.
Yeah. 5, 6, and 14.
Right, 5, 6, and 14. And also on number 16, Glenn Steakley will not be here tonight. And Thea Prince has wanted this to be reset until July 14th on the Saturday. She has people that are coming in to be with her on that. Now, if you'll forgive me, I am going to move one ahead to where we can be able to get this business done and they can get theirs done. This will be on the candidates for the Industrial Development Board. You received my letter showing that it was the county commission's job to oversee the membership of the Industrial Development Board. I supplied to you papers that showed that the Industrial Development Board in the last 8 meetings, which covered almost 8 years, that they really never had a quorum. So anything that they done was actually not right. Also, the one thing that I can say about it, they made sure that we kept one of our biggest civilian employers around, and that was Crane. Crane was going on with the economic downturn. They were having problems, and the Economic Board forgave them of X amount of months of rent. I'm glad they did it, illegal or legal or illegal, because we cannot afford to lose that one. And they've always been there right. However, I had personally called everyone, and at the time that I called everyone that was on the old board, some of them expressed to me that they wanted off. And so I let them off. And that would have been Mayor Patrick and Jackie Francis wanted off, and he got off. And then there was, let's see, oh yeah, Mark was on there at the time. He didn't know he was on. So he cannot serve on that board, which took 3 more of them off. And then Ricky Cope is also an employee of the county, and he could not be on there, so there's 4 of them off. And you can show on the papers that I sent to you, there were 3 men on a night, there were 4 men on a night. There was never any order to it. So I took it upon myself to where I have, well, that and along with the only 2 remaining members, which would be Doug Beaudry and then Randall Reed, they wanted to be able to cut down the size, and they would have cut down the size of the IDB board, which to the state's minimum, which is 7 members. 7 members, if 2 are out or 3 are out, you still got a quorum. And they could not get anything done. Nothing was done. Although there was monies paid out and everything else, there was nothing that was done to further the IDB board. So therefore, I've sent you a list of names, and I asked for you to talk to these people if you want to, but we need to have them affirmed. They got a meeting tonight. They haven't had a budget set in years, and there is going to be a budget set tonight. If you would, I want to recommend to the IDB board, Corey Davenport, and if y'all will stand up in the back, stand up, Corey. Then you have Mindy Gunner, who is the, do you call it president of the bank over there? Or? Okay, branch manager of First Bank. You have David Vance, who's in with the Global Enterprise. You got Randall Reed, who has been at every single meeting. And then you have Dean Moore. Dean Moore has retired from a position where there was, they offered bank equipment. So he had been in that 40 years professionally, and then he started his own business as far as that goes. These people right here have told me that of their wish to be able to do a good job on the IDB and to be able to help get industry in here. They've got the organizational powers. Every one of them are executive style people. And I would like to have a motion, if there's no questions, to approve these people, along with Doug Beaudry. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who's the, oh, I'm sorry. I did not call him.
Neil Applebaum.
Neil Applebaum, is he here? Well, Neil is also the 7th one, and it was my fault that I didn't call him. So could I have a motion to affirm these people as the new IDB board in Cannon County?
I'll make a motion.
I got a question. Is
Sure.
this a joint board
A joint
with
board?
the city and the county?
No.
This is just a county?
They have their own.
It's just a county board?
Right, is that not right, Mike?
Just a county?
That's right.
Okay,
It's just county.
okay.
And they are incorporated. That's what I tried to get messages to you before. They are their own entity. The one thing that they do to us is they report the things that have gone on and what they've done there, but we don't have any control over them except for their membership. Now, one or two of these people will go in tonight at tonight's meeting, which meets at 6:30. At tonight's meeting, and they will check out which one is going to serve for the next 2 years. It's all in 6-year increments. Then 2 of them will come and they will say that they'll serve for 4 years. And then you got the people that are left on the 6 years. They will start 6 years now. When it's their time to get off rotation at 6, there'll be however 3 left going on it. In 2 years, 2 of them will step down. We'll put in more people that are 6 years. And so far, so it's a continuous rotation to where some are changed every 6 years. They haven't been changed in forever, except for by attrition. Larry Richards died. Okay, we have a motion by Kevin George. Do I have a second? Jimmy Mingle makes a second on that. If you would, call the roll, please.
Mark Parker,
Yes.
Russ Reed,
No.
Todd Hollenberg,
Yes.
Jimmy Mingle,
Yes.
Jim Bush,
Yes.
Kevin George,
Yes.
Clint Higgins,
No.
Tony Neal,
No.
Kevin Mooneyham,
Yes.
Bob Sutter,
Yes.
7 for, 3 against, motion carried.
I've got one question.
Yes.
When it comes time to appoint again, when is it, October?
Yes.
September, October, yeah.
Okay, so we should reappoint them in October.
Why couldn't this have waited till October now? It was my own question, but I didn't want to bring it up beforehand because I'm glad these people are willing to serve.
Okay.
And I was,
It is my understanding, and I hope I'm not giving away any.
here's what we need to do is are their terms going to start in October?
Yes.
So that every year we do it?
No, they're going to work right now.
I know
Right,
that.
but
But our committees are appointed.
start their terms in October, and they serve 2 years from October.
Right.
They're going to serve from now till October, but.
Then we're going to reappoint if that's at the will.
And at that time, we'll know who's a 2-year term, who's a 4, and who's a 6.
Right.
That's right.
And if I'm not overstepping my bounds, there's in the works right now. And the reason why they got to get to work is we got people knocking at the door for businesses. I don't know anything about it. The board will find out about it tonight, and hopefully we'll start this off with something that will bring in some industry into Cannon County. I don't know anything about it.
I want to thank publicly Jackie Francis for
Yes.
using all this time, all these years serving as the chairman of it for
Right.
many years.
Right.
We've got, the things in the industrial park that we do have that are employing people, and I want to thank Mr. Reed also for being a good member of that committee that would be there, and you can count on him to be present every time he's supposed to be present. You know,
Thank
some
you.
people cannot help their jobs, taking them out of county and stuff like that. But I want to thank those two publicly, and those others that served well, John Higgins and others. John
Right,
Higgins,
right,
you know, he would be a good one, but he doesn't live in this county.
right. And see, that was the fifth one that was
That's
out. Everything just started dwindling down to where we had to do something. Thank you, Mark, that's good, and I certainly wouldn't be opposed to honoring Jackie with some kind of
All he wants
award.
is just to thank you like we just did gave him.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like Jackie. Okay. Thank you very much, members.
Go
And
get-
if
go get to
you'll
work.
retire
Yeah.
back- If you'll retire back to the jury room. Yeah.
He's a geek.
This is what legislation was passed that concerns the county, all the counties. So Doug has put it together from CTAS, and we should read up on it, see what we can use, can't use, and what we do wrong.
New stuff.
That'd be exciting. Read it to the kids at night. Before we go to bed.
Yeah, they're bed stories, yeah. I think it's-
Put everybody to sleep.
Instead of 3 little pigs.
If the board will indulge me on a personal note here. Ever since I can remember, I've been a person that was passionate about the things that I believed in. And whether it be law enforcement, whether it be something that I want to have done, when it came to the commission here, it's on a way that that we as a group can bring this county to financial responsibility and see it move ahead. And my life's passion has always been high when it came to doing things right. My father instilled in us a respect for our family name, which around here in Cannon County, I know that you know that because people believe in families here and what they could do for the county. And never to soil it because it just didn't soil it for yourself, but the whole family name. My law enforcement career was a great example of this passion. So much so that wherever I was stationed, I believed that if it was going to get done, I had to do it. As I pushed hard, as a lot of you around here know, Michael, Julio, Kevin.
Yes.
As elected sheriff of Cannon County, it didn't matter who it was, everybody was treated the same way, and that is why I was a one-term sheriff. Now, as county commissioner, with the help of some friends at this table, I want you to know that I respect and admire every one of y'all, especially for taking the step to be able to put yourself out as a target every day. And I want to apologize to you for the fact is that you elected me your chairman, and I believe I've probably embarrassed you at many times because I am very passionate about things. Evidently, when I get passionate, I get loud, too. And Mike, I want to apologize to you. I forgot your status. Your status is a county executive of Cannon County. I'll still disagree with you, but I'll try to do it as a gentleman and with civility. However, I will not apologize for the direction that we're trying to go in this county, and that is that we're trying to make this the best place that you can live. And I hope that every one of y'all have that same passion. So that's it for me. I appreciate it. I will certainly make an attempt not to raise my voice anymore. I get a little bit fierce, as one of the commissioners told me.
You're not going to hold us to all that, are you?
That was you speaking, right?
I will keep order, but
Speak for yourself,
That was
Bob.
your words.
yeah. Yeah. Okay,
I appreciate you doing it, Bob.
thank you. Now it's time to readdress the resolution to enact fees to cover the cost of a raise in salary for the general sessions judge after the first measure was vetoed by Executive Gannett pursuant to TCA 56107. Veto override needs a simple majority. It was passed unanimously the last time. I would like to start this and ask Mike why you would veto that?
As you know, when I was chairman, I didn't have veto power, and once I wasn't chairman, I had.
Right.
I had, as chairman, I could break a tie, but, and if you'll notice, this is the first ones I vetoed, and the reason I did, I didn't start out to do that, and I respect you very much, and I know it passed unanimous, but I thought, well, I better do a little research on this. Of course, a fee is a tax. You can call it anything you want to, but a fee is a tax. I know, that's not a good sign. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to spread it out over a broader range, and I'll commend you for that. But there's a saturation point that you can tax certain things, and there's many ways of issuing taxes, and at some point you can get that particular area saturated, and I feel like this is one of them, and here's what I'm basing that on. The state charges $29.50 litigation tax, so that's got nothing to do with us, but we match that, so we get $29.50. We raised in the last year or two, we've raised litigation tax for the jail from 10 to 50. That's the jail repairs, jail buildings, whatever. So that's a $40 increase. We raised a special tax, and I'm not sure what that is, for general sessions court, and it went from $6 to $12. So we've raised it $6. We've got an officer litigation tax that goes to the jail, that's $5. We've got a $1 tax, and when I say tax, these are all litigation taxes. We've got a $1 save litigation tax that goes to save. And we've got a $10 booking fee every time somebody's booked into the jail, for a total of $107.50, and $65 of that's going to the jail. Now, here's where it's costing us money. Last year, this year we're about to finish. We project that'd be 11 and 12. Our fees and fines for general sessions is going to be, no, I'm sorry, it's going to be $7,000 less than it was last year. Our fees in circuit are going to be $2,000 less than last year. So in other words, our revenue from these fines have dropped $9,000. In less, well, that's somewhat projected. So I mean, it appears it's going to be at least $9,000. So at the end of this year, we have to save line, because you've got more inmates this year than you had last year. I'm assuming the jail's full than it was last year. So I thought, why is that? Well, what they're doing, the fine, partly due, not completely, but partly due to litigation taxes, is so high that a lot of inmates can't pay it. So what they're doing, they're flattening out their sentence, I think is what they call it. In other words, if they got Darryl, if I can misspeak about the sentences, I'm not up on this, but if they've got a 6-month sentence, they can build it in 3 and pay off their fines, they do that. But if they flatten it out, they stay 6 months and they don't owe anything. And these have gotten so high, in my judgment, more inmates are flattening out their sentences, and that means we're drawing in less money. Now, that's costing us in 2 ways. First, we're getting roughly $9,000 less than we got last year, plus we're keeping inmates longer. And that's costing the sheriff's department and medical, guards, food, everything. So I really believe the cost of this fine is high enough. Well, in my judgment, it's too high. Now, I respect, I know y'all voted, and if y'all vote 10-0 tonight to override this veto, I've done my job and I'm happy with it. I have no hard feelings. But I really believe that these increases are going to be counterproductive to the bottom line. When I say the bottom line, the money that we have to spend at the jail and the money we receive from general sessions. And that's my thinking on it.
Oh, Mike,
Yes, sir.
we'll be discussing that in a minute, but could you go ahead then with your,
The other one?
right,
Okay.
with the archive fees?
The other one, I can't give you figures to show where it's going to cost us money. But this thing, if you've read it, keep in mind, it's a $5 fee for any form that the county has to keep. Now, that's marriage license, death certificates, everything. So if you die, you're gonna pay $5 more in tax. If you get married, you're gonna, right at the earliest part of your life, most people are, that's a $5 more in the tax. And there's numerous other ones. I spoke with the circuit court clerk. She says they're collecting so many and dividing it up in so many pieces of pie that they can't hardly keep up with it. Well, I know this won't go, this will be different. But another problem, the way this is written up, every single fee will have to have a $5, every single document that we have to keep will have a $5 fee added to it. What that will do, I'm afraid, that's going to cause my office, Donald Preston's office, except with the exception, for some reason, the Register of Deeds is exempt from that law. I don't know why, but every other office, the Sheriff's Department, the County Commission, what you'll have to do is collect a $5 fee. All right, what's going to happen? That's going to cause offices like mine that doesn't collect money. We don't have collecting capability, and neither does Donald Preston. We're going to have to start figuring out a way to collect these $5 fees. So will you, the commission. Then you run into trouble with your audit. They're going to come in. I've got two ladies. Charlotte works part-time and Diane full-time. All right, if Mark Marker comes in and files something that I have to keep a copy of, and I charge him $5. To keep from getting written up, I've got to have two cash drawers. I've got to have Diane one and Charlotte one. You say, why is that? Because they're not supposed to work out of the same cash drawer. I don't think it's worth it, and I really think if we'll wait a while, this storage thing, now storage is a problem. I don't mean to tell you it's not a problem, but I really think we can work something out at the old hospital in the next year and a half. If it's nothing but build something or whatever, but I really think we work something out to help us with the storage thing. I think the $5 fee it's going to be an added burden to the citizens, plus it's going to be an added burden on the county when it comes down to trying to keep it all straight. And I don't think $5 is worth the problem that it's going to cost.
All right, thank you, Mike.
Wait a minute, just a minute, Mike. How do you propose to cover Miss Melton's salaries without that litigation tax increase?
You're already covering your salary. You're talking about an increase.
The raise, yes, the raise.
You'll have to cover it out of county general, just like you are. But here's my point. I really believe, and I can't swear to you this is the only reason. Another reason the revenue's down in those fees, Russell, is because if let's say your electric bill and they cut your electric bill off and you move and you owe them $300. Well, Middle Tennessee hasn't told me this, but some of the utilities have. If they come in, they've got to where they won't sue anymore because they say the fees, and we're not the only county. There's several counties that they're not suing in because the fees are so high. You're going to have to owe them quite a bit of money before they'll sue you. They may not let you have gas or whatever, cable TV again, but you'll never have to pay that because time you hire a lawyer and pay $107.50 plus whatever state tax onto that, plus a lot of these kids I see coming in getting tickets, going to college and to work, that adds to all of those fines and all that. And the reason I think it's costing us money is because the inmates. Now, your fees from there's two reasons it's costing us money in my judgment, and it's not the only reason. Don't take it; it's the only reason. My understanding, there's two or three things that factor into this, but one is Daryl's having to keep inmates longer. Two, that in turn they're not paying their fines, so he has to keep them longer, and that's hitting us both ways. So I think the long run we'd be better off pay the increase in her salary out of county general and keep this as, but now if y'all think, well, it's already too high to begin with, what's $3 more or whatever it was, I believe it's $3 increase, it's not gonna make that big a difference, that's fine, I got no problem with that, I just.
How much is her increase? Anybody know?
What we got? They give it back to you?
Somebody's budget.
Here it is.
Here.
Budget.
8,000.
Around $3,000 a year. And that's.
From 80 to 83.
We can't do anything about it.
1,000 cases to cover it.
But again, I respect your judgment and whatever y'all want to do. I just want you to know my thinking.
One other question. Now, this is for anybody that knows. Is this considered a legislative matter or an administrative matter?
As far as raising the $3, y'all have to vote. It's legislative.
Legislative, not administrative?
You guys have to approve it before it becomes law. Now, you've already approved it. I'll veto it. So I'm assuming there'll be a motion to override my veto. It'll take a simple majority, not 2/3 like most of them. It'll take 6 votes to override it.
That was that's the plan, but we were certainly going to discuss it. As Russell says, and this, I feel, is what the commission was thinking about, if you allow me that, is the fact is that it's got to come from somewhere, and it might as well come from the users. If not, and Mike's talking about being in the county general, if not, it's got to come from the taxpayers, which are the homeowners. Now, they probably will never, ever, except maybe to get married and die, ever use that tax. But the ones that are using the tax are the ones that are coming in to either file something, they broke into some place and they're standing before Judge Melton, and then they're sent to Sheriff Young. And they're going to be using that, and they're the problem for it in the first place.
Let's not mix the two up, though. The families do come and file things here other than.
Let's just talk about them separately.
Let's talk about
Address
yeah,
number
let's mix
7.
them up.
Address number, item number 7.
Sure.
I think that you're right, Bob. The people that are before the judges, another $3, I don't think, or $4 is not going to make them, you know.
And if they're leveling their sentence, and that's why they're not paying, stop letting them level.
This would be a state issue,
You
wouldn't
probably
it?
can't do that.
That'd
Well,
be
the
a state-
judge can.
Yeah.
Look,
But we can't make a judgment.
I can understand
Yeah, you can't make her do
the
nothing.
fee on the courts to pay the general session judge. I can understand that one. This one, to put a fee on every piece of paper that has to be kept here, I think is pushing the limits of what we need to be doing. And as Mike talked about, the tax assessor's office, it had to be holding, money,
Yeah,
taking
got it.
fees. I think that one's the one that I worry about the most.
when you have a real estate agent that, say, he handles or goes through Debbie's office and he runs 50 pieces of property through that office in a year, and that's part of his business, by asking the property taxpayer to pay for that 50 pieces of property to go through that office, you're asking them to subsidize his business.
Well, you can't get Debbie's office no way, so she's exempt from it.
Well, Donald's office is the same way. And when a lawyer goes in for the lawsuit in Tina and them's office, by asking, there's a lady out on 53 Highway that's got a little farm out there that her husband worked his whole life to pay for. And she's on a fixed income, and it takes every dime she's got to get by, and she barely does keep that farm. She wants to leave it to her son. She never uses this courthouse. Why should she have to pay $5 so an attorney can file a piece of paper in that office down there? Why does she have to do that? Why didn't he pay it? Why didn't the people that hire him, why don't they pay it? They're the one using the service. Why are we asking? I know it's just $3, I know it's just $5, but it's her $5, it's my $5, my $3.
She'll end up paying the $5. If the real estate agent goes in there and you charge him $5, you need to worry, he'll pass it on to his customer.
That's right. I agree with that. He passes it on to people he's doing business with.
That's right. But
That's a cost to his
it's
business.
everybody. That's why the public records are public records, and they're here to be kept for everybody. you know, and we do end up, all of us paying it, but that's just the price we have to pay for civilized society. But I don't think we want to put the archive fee on, and that's just the way I feel about it. I didn't hear the discussion at the other meeting because I wasn't present. I just wanted to hear the discussion here.
Well, basically, that's what it is, in a nutshell. We're trying to say, we already tax, and every one of us. I don't know how much land you have, Mark, and I'm just holding on myself, and I got 2 places I'm taking it. I don't want to put on the tax base. None of it. Because we're looking at next year. Next year, we're fixing to go up. We got a reevaluation in 2013.
That's why I'm leaning toward going along with the general sessions judge one, but not the other one. That's my opinion.
Well, okay. There are any more questions? Because these are 2 different situations.
They're the same.
If I knew the inmates that were over there were going to pay this, get out and leave, I'd say let's raise it more. Because I really think this is costing us, when I say us, I mean the property owner. He's having to keep them longer, and they're not paying the fines. So I really think, in a way, that if we add this to it, it's actually in the long run, it's going to reduce the revenue even more. It's going to, and I may be wrong, but in my opinion, I think that it's going to actually cost the property owner.
I don't really believe $3 will make that much difference.
Well, 3 won't.
Can't believe a guy sitting in jail.
And just 5 or 3. Which one's 3 and which one's 5?
5's for the records.
5 for the records.
3's for the judge.
3's for the judge. Yeah, that's what I heard.
3 is for Susan's.
But we can try it and then see next year. That's up to y'all.
Yeah, we can always reduce fees, I guess.
Yeah, we could reduce property taxes too, but every time that gets mentioned, it gets laughed out of the room.
Okay. All right. On item number 7, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which one is it?
This is
Seven's the judge.
by a vote.
Judge.
If we approve this, it will, in fact, override the veto that county executive has placed on it. And we'll take that one at this time. Someone make a motion.
For number 7? Yeah. Item number 7.
Item 7, right. I can never keep up with my paper.
I make a motion.
I second.
Made a motion by Kevin George, and seconded by Jim Bush.
That we keep it.
To override the veto.
To override the veto, right.
Mark Barker,
Yes.
Russell Reed,
Yes.
Todd Hollenberg,
Yes.
Jimmy Williams.
Yes.
Jim Bush,
Yes.
Kevin George,
Yes.
Jay Higgins.
Yes.
Tony Neal,
Yes.
Kevin Mooneyham,
Yes.
Bob Stepson.
Yes.
Carried.
Okay, item number 8, to readdress the resolution to enact an archive fee to be used for the preservation and storage of records pertaining to the county business. Pursuant to TCA 56107, veto override needs a simple majority vote, and it was passed unanimously last time. Do I have a motion on this to approve this, override the veto?
Question first.
Okay?
Are we renting a courier office to store these records?
No.
We are not.
Well, let me explain that. I wanted to explain to it, and I'm glad you brought it up. It has come down to the fact is that the Regions Bank wants us to make an offer to buy it, because as Todd, Commissioner Hollingsworth had gotten us to withdraw our application to rent. We don't want to rent anything. I mean, you just get in the problem when you rent. And I haven't had the time to be able, haven't had time. This is the first time I was able to address a full commission where it asked, do we want to make a bid for this office space? It has been, let me tell you the assets of it. It has been, the basement's been redone. It's got all the water out. It's got places to get it out. The roof has just been on, which is, it's got to be a good almost $200,000 to do, I'd say. The only thing is we can make a bid to them, and it's up to them to where they would turn it down. Now the courier is actually in process of dealing with a person that wants to originally wanted to rent that, But now the Courier is thinking about letting them rent the new place, with the idea of when time came, they could go ahead and swap offices. Because the Courier wants to downsize. These people want that. It's some kind of antique or something like that. However, the attorney for the Regions Bank says maybe you ought to offer them something like $400,000 and 4.5. And I said, it's appraised at $185,000 on our tax records. And that is what I would offer if I was in that position to do it. They can either say yes or no. Mike says that they're maybe trying to be able to put it into the old office building. That would be good for storage if you didn't have to go visit it every once in a while.
Well, I think the thing with storage is the city has an ordinance where we couldn't use it for storage.
No, not the Good Samaritan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not.
Okay, I thought you meant.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right. That is right, Clint.
I mean, the
The city has an ordinance there that says you can't not leave something just alone, abandon it and just use it for storage. I don't know if that completely goes with our books, but
I mean, the city can approve it to be, but that opens a slippery slope for them if they let one, not the other. And
yeah. But it was basically we were going to use it for storage and for the people from the courthouse.
And this $5 was going to go.
This $5 was going to help pay on the payment, which would have been rent at that time for $705, and in 2 years it would go up to $805. So,
Gentlemen, I recommend we let the veto stand on that since we ain't using the building.
say again.
I recommend we let the veto stand on that since we're not going to use the building.
That'd be a no vote. We already got a motion. Don't we? No, we didn't make a motion. I thought you
not on
never mind.
Not on
Sorry.
not on
I thought we
We'll go ahead
could.
and make the motion then.
Yeah, make that motion.
There's no motion to be made.
Yeah.
We're going to let the veto stand. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, now if somebody else wants to make a motion, go ahead. That's just my
I'd like to make,
recommendation.
I'd like to make the motion that we
You want to
override the veto.
Okay. We got a motion to override the veto. And this is on number 8, to readdress the archive fee.
Well, just like Russell was saying, the reason why we done this to start with, because we was renting the building over here to help pay for it.
And if we find a building that we need to do that, we'll, we can address this again if you want.
When it gets to that point, then we can come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as it stands, you know, I don't see why that we'd go ahead with it when the general purpose of it was to pay for the rent on the building.
Exactly.
So,
Kevin George has made the motion to override the veto. Do we have a second? Having no second, veto stands. All right. Let's see. Number 9 is done. 10 is done. Okay, Commissioner Neal wants to come forward to address the board on behalf of the county's volunteer fire department.
I'm gonna just skip that and let Mr. George speak since he's on here.
Okay.
Because it's the same subject, so.
Cool. Come on.
That's going to take out 11 and 13.
How my name down there, I was talking to the budget committee the other night. And I said, can you put that on there? And they said, yeah, Bob, put my name down. In the budget meeting the other night, we were talking about getting a Cascade truck to put our mobile unit in. And Commissioner Mooneyham had talked to Jerry Pelham about scrapping those old fire trucks that are up at Pelham's. And he said he could haul them off to have them hauled off to Chattanooga and we could use that money toward getting a mobile Cascade unit. It takes the commissioner approval to do that. Kevin said, Jerry said he'd be more than happy to do that. And that's what we're coming to propose.
I'll make the motion. I'll second it.
Explain a minute. This is to take your stuff up and I missed something.
Trucks have been there for years.
Yeah. They're the old
They're old
fire
junk
trucks.
trucks that have been there for the at least 4 to 7 years or more, some, one of them longer than that.
They held on to them till they got everything
Oh, yeah. We
off
held
of
on
them.
to them till the roots out the bottom.
Yeah.
And Jerry's offered to take them for
He
us.
can't cut them up and he can't crush them. He's gonna have to haul them off by trailer, and this company will come up and haul them off for him. And we'll get the county. Will get
Set it
the
for
money
scrap
out.
and
We'll
use
get
the
the
money
money.
out of it to pay for the cascade, to buy a truck, to put portable
Cascade
cascade system.
Everybody understands it but me, so, I mean, no, I do now. I do.
Has everything that could be used been took off them trucks? Pipe caps, switches?
They ain't nothing left on them. They're pretty well stripped to nothing. Whatever's left on them is filled up with water and frozen bursted by now, so there's nothing left on them.
One of them is the one that Jerry had the Christmas lights on up there in his yard. You know, I mean,
That's
it's
not
been-
one. Actually, he bought that one.
Oh, did he
back
buy
for
that one
himself. Yeah,
back?
he kept that one.
Okay.
What about the gasway truck?
Now, that gasway truck and the west side truck are still at their fire halls.
Yeah.
These are the trucks.
Just the trucks.
These are just trucks that's been there for a while.
They are eventually gonna scrap those, aren't they?
Yeah, but that will have to come before y'all
Do
do.
that again.
You'll have to come in and surplus those. These have been sitting in pumps forever.
Well, now.
Yes, the one we replaced, that yellow truck we replaced when we got this.
The old Freightliner, what's the other truck?
One of them's the old gasway truck that they got years ago. Remember the one that Auburn Town took place? One of them's it. One of them's an old gasway truck.
But we don't take them out. You don't want to take Gasway and West Side truck out of service until the new trucks come in, do you?
No.
Just a minute.
That's right.
Let me tell you something. Last week, we tried to move Gasway's truck because of homecoming. I know, but I want to tell you, the truck would not start. We think the motor's locked up. You'll have to have a record with it. It's not going to.
But you got more than truck down there. You got to use it?
You know what shape that truck's in.
But there's still things y'all
I
gotta
make a
take off
motion
of
that
it
we
before
take
you
two trucks.
take it somewhere.
Yeah, let's move on.
I make a motion to take the 2 trucks to Jerry Pelham's and let him get rid of them and put the money.
They're already at Jerry's. All we
Yeah.
gotta do is.
I'll say-
Already in the
I mean,
motion.
I said the 2 that are at Jerry's,
Yeah, let
have
them
him
go.
take them off, put the money toward the Cascade truck.
Is it 2 or 3?
2 of them.
2 of them, right?
2 of them.
They're doing what we asked them, coming up with creative ways to pay for stuff.
Yeah.
That's what we asked them for, so let's do it.
My creative.
You made a motion, didn't you?
I made the motion, I second.
Todd, second it. Todd?
Mark Barker.
Yes.
Russell Reed.
Yes.
Todd Hollingsworth.
Yes.
Henry Mangum.
Yes.
Jim Bush.
Yes.
Kevin George.
Yes.
Glenn Higgins.
Yes.
Tony Neal.
Yes.
Kevin Mooneyham.
Yeah.
Bob Stuckey.
Yes.
Hey, Bob, make sure that whatever has to be done to make that legal, anything that needs to be filled out and signed, anything, make sure all that's done right, so we don't
Okay.
Issues later.
get in
Mike on
trouble.
there.
Yeah, he'll know.
We'll put the money back in county general, just earmark it.
Yeah, but we need to earmark it, make sure that it gets
Yeah.
used.
Not dumped into the back.
Number 12.
Okay, number 12. I have talked to Mike Corley, and I had questions that I had for him, and we had the discussion that it was very hard for us to be able to get in touch with him, and it is. It takes almost a full day to be able to get any kind of call back from him. And I explained to him the situation that we're in, that we are making decisions now on a monthly basis and not a quarterly basis where it's easy to get get ready for. And I had said to him, I said, you know, you live in Warren County, you work in DeKalb County. I said, we need to be able to get in touch with an attorney and have them work for us. And I said, I feel like the attorney ought to be living in the county. He agreed. That's why I brought this up. We are doing things, we're doing more things now that's ever been done. Right or wrong, we're doing it. And we need to be able to consult with an attorney. I would like to have an attorney up here almost at every time that we talk about something. And instead of having somebody leave from Warren County or leave from DeKalb County to be able to come over, I'd like for them to live here in the county or the community and just, hey, it's time to go to the commission meeting. Now, most attorneys, well, no, Mike Corley charges $125, $125 an hour, 124, something like that. If you notice, when I had sent you, I think y'all got the budget that I had proposed, and what happened with that, Mark, on the commission?
Oh, for the commission, that's for next year.
Yes, it's for next year.
Yeah, we considered it. We're still considering it.
Okay, and we're going to go through that, you're going to go through that when, Thursday night? Okay. Well, this is one of the reasons why I've asked for attorneys to be able to be here, because we need their guidance in the things that we do, to make sure that, like Kevin says, that we could have somebody just say, hey, you got to have this. Although Mike Gannon probably knows, he's been at it long enough, but we don't want to run into any trouble selling surplus property. In fact, if it's like the sheriff's property, you have to advertise it. Even though Jerry wants it and it's up at Jerry's, do we have to advertise it? It's surplus county property. That's something that only our attorney could tell us, I believe.
Well, where an attorney lives, to me, doesn't have anything to do with how good they are, how much experience they've got. We don't need.
I agree.
Is this motion just to require that an attorney that we were using lived inside the county?
It's a way, Mark. It's a way, Mark. It's a way to be able to have that attorney here present. Without taking paying so much.
Well, we don't pay so much. If you noticed in the Daily News Journal, Rutherford County's county attorney makes $250,000 a year. Did you see that in the Daily News Journal?
No, I don't care too much about Rutherford County.
So we don't want to get going down that road. We've got a good deal.
Well, here's the deal.
Somebody with a lot of experience and a lot of ability that knows how, and has served us well, and there are now pending lawsuits already against us.
Against what?
The county.
The county.
Sure. Yeah, and he said that he would represent us. He would continue to represent us on them lawsuits. But like I say, this came from conversation with him.
If we hire one that lives in the county, we'll still have to pay him to be at these meetings.
Yeah, he's not going to. He's not doing the goodness out of his
They don't do
heart.
nothing for free.
No.
Right.
So, if you're saying that, just getting one in the county doesn't get them here.
Well, that would
money
have
is
to,
what gets them here.
Sure, that would have to be a requirement.
And
if we want them to come at each meeting, we might not. Y'all might not. I'm only one person, and I look to y'all to be able to cut through all the red tape and give me some kind of answer that we can put into the form of a motion. Just because I ask for it don't mean it's gospel.
Well, if we want him here at these meetings, can't we put him on something like a retainer?
He is on a retainer, I think, isn't he, Mike?
No.
He's just by hourly.
Just straight up hourly.
Okay.
See, couldn't we put him on a retainer?
If we had something special that
for
we
him to
wanted
come
him
to
to
these
be here for,
meetings?
when he comes.
He comes if I tell him he's needed.
Yeah, but he don't come for free.
Oh, no.
It costs us $125 an hour.
That's right.
Abraham Lincoln already said that a man's time is money.
No lawyer will come.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter.
And no, you can't just dial up any lawyer and get them. You're going to get their secretary. I don't care.
Could I say something on this?
Yeah, sure, Mike.
I think you'd be making a terrible mistake to change county attorneys, and here's why. He represents utility districts. He is their lawyer, but he's represented them before. He's represented this county for years. He knows what he's done. If you check with anybody in the court system, they'll tell you he's one of the better lawyers around. And there's many times I've called him and asked him, can we do this, can we do that? He'll research, and I never get a bill for it. You won't get that with many lawyers. But could we work out a deal, put him on a retainer? I don't know. That's something I've never approached him with. That might be a possibility. But keep in mind, I don't care who gets sued. If it's the sheriff, if it's the registry of deeds, if it's the property assessor, I'm the one that gets sued. Well, there's things, I get sued sometimes, and I didn't even know it happened until they filed a lawsuit on it. So it's important that I have confidence in who represents me.
Well, can you talk to him and ask him what kind of retainer it would take to have him here at the
My
meetings?
point is, it's very important that we have a good lawyer,
Mhm.
especially right now, because we've had 2 or 3 lawsuits. It's very important that we have a good lawyer, and one that loves county, which he does, and then he's not going to, I mean, he's going to charge us, but he does
Yeah.
do some things for him.
I want to let y'all know ahead of time, let me reiterate, I talked with Mike himself. It was a cordial conversation, nothing like that. It wasn't, it didn't start out to be that way. It came to be this way by our conversations with me talking with him, and he said, you know, that's probably a good idea. I don't know if he got the time to where he gives all himself, you know, I mean, my goodness, he's in Warren County, in DeKalb County, and a lawyer from somewhere else. If we can work out a deal for him that he'll show up to these every time, I'd love it. I mean, I know Mark, you know.
You can do that, you just have to pay him, like Mark said, the Murfreesboro attorney, which of course it wouldn't be no figure like that, $250,000 flat fee, he does whatever they need. It probably costs him more if he done that. One reason I don't ask him to come is to keep from having to pay. You know, try to hold down costs as much as possible.
Well, if he's put on a retainer, we gotta pay him whether we use him or not, don't we?
Yeah.
We don't do that.
And we negotiate with him on that, but, and I don't care how we pay him or what we do, but I strongly urge you not to get involved, especially with some outstanding lawsuits.
We got too much going on to change.
And I don't think we do enough business here, you know, every once in a while, yeah, it may be something that, you know, it needs a lawyer's advice on it. But if it does, you know, we can hold it off to the next meeting and get his advice after the
Now that we're meeting every month.
You know, instead of having a 2-hour meeting, $250, you know.
Well, it seems like the biggest issue is availability, whether he's available
Availability,
to
right.
you.
Right.
Because I don't know if y'all do it or not, but I call Bob sometimes and say, I want you to put such and such on the agenda so we can talk about it. And I might ask him to put something on there that we don't even need to be talking about, because I don't know any better. He needs to have somebody to check with and make sure that we do things, that we're talking about things we ought to be talking about, not talking about things we shouldn't be. And
It would help me do a better job.
Right. And
Well, can you not call him? I mean,
I can't get in touch with him every time. I mean, in fact, I was lucky to get in touch with him. Now, not going against Mike's office or anything like that, but Diane told me it was the same way. Said she cannot get in touch with him.
Mike says he can get in touch with him. Call Mike, let Mike call him, then call you.
Yeah.
Because he may know that he needs to answer Mike because he
County
works
executive.
for the county. That may get back to, you may have to talk with him on. That's my opinion.
Okay, then, is it a general consensus that we just go ahead and pass this over?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
We'll go that. Now, we've already taken care of the approval of the county general budget, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. And now we have, and before we get into this one about the low bid, I want to say that at the end of this meeting, I am not adjourning this meeting. We're going to recess, and we're going to recess to July 29th. At that time, we're going to clean up any kind of budget amendments.
June 29th.
That's what
You said July, but
June 29th, and that way we'll clean up the amendments, and then we'll probably pass a budget at that time.
We'll have to pass a continuing budget.
We got one right here, got a resolution that we do just that. I had Diane type it up to where it's a resolution to be able to have a continuing just in case. Let me find it. While I'm finding that, let's go ahead with number 15. I know that there are people here that's waiting for this. You've seen the bids. And I want to tell you, there have been three, out of the four, there were three at 3.0 interest rate. But we had one that fought enough to where they wanted to be able to get our business, that was First National Bank. And they had a 1.98.
just sounds like
interest rate.
common sense tells you right there it is.
And I was there in Diane's office when Tim had called there and asked this question. He said, what was that bond rating again? And she turned to me and said that Tim wants to know what the bond rating was. And I said it was an A2. And he got that answer, and we've got a 1.98 interest rate.
Now, did the bond rating, does it reflect on these other bids as well?
They never mentioned it, and the one that was hard, if you look at, was Regions. They had needed so much information or so much other stuff just to be able to say that they wanted to be able to go ahead and do it. So, like I say, we want to get it to, First National Bank even beat out the state pool, is where we've always win. So, we're saving a lot of money, and it shows how much you save there on those graphs.
Percent.
It stays local.
Yeah.
And so, you can see which one's the lowest bid as far as interest rate, and that's going to save us thousands of dollars on that, on this deal on the fire trucks. Any questions?
I don't have any questions. I got some comments. We got $130,000 here for 2 trucks. We've got 3 departments that need a truck. We've got 3 departments that's down. We've got a guy in Friendship, Tennessee, that'll sell these departments 3 fire trucks for $150,000. That's $20,000 more for 3 than you're giving for 2. And it's not like saying, here's your trucks, you got to take them. He's going to have a pool anywhere from 6 to 8 trucks that they can go down there and choose from, these departments. My opinion is that's the way we ought to go. Because if you don't, you're going to have to turn around and give another $65,000 for another department to get another truck.
Well, after the mistake that I made about putting everything together like it is that we're most likely at the next year's meeting going to have to go ahead and redo some to try to get some more vehicles. Y'all are in the business. I've just never looked at. The fact is that somebody says, I'll give you 2 for $130 or 3 for $20,000 more. I just can't trust that. I mean, that just doesn't.
How can they do that?
Huh?
How can they do that?
Yeah, how can they do that?
This guy goes through them, checks them, redoes them, pump tests them. They're certified, pump tested when we get them. That's more than the trucks we're using now. Ain't none of our trucks we're using pump certified. None of them. These trucks are pump certified. They've been through. He's putting a warranty on them. He asks the departments each what they need on the trucks. He tries to help them. When you get the truck, all you got to do is put a hose on it and you're ready to fight a fire.
Well, that's good.
And they say that they're got somewhere around 45,000 miles on them, which is low miles. You can consider half of that being run by a pump.
And I think they're all 1,000-gallon tank trucks too.
Yeah, all 1,000-gallon tank trucks.
Okay.
The truck at Moortown's got was pump tested when they got it.
Was it? Okay,
One thing I'd like to say about that. We have already hit these banks up with a couple times that we've gone up there. That's no good because it looks like we don't know what we're doing on whether or not we want to, we're serious about getting a loan or whatever. At this juncture, we got West Side and Gasway waiting for
Approval to go get the truck.
approval to go get it, And so that's what I want to look at today, and then we can deal with.
It's as soon as they get their trucks, then the extra truck that Moortown has that's at Gasway right now can be used. And we can decide that they don't run any calls at this station, and they got a better truck than the one that they're sharing. We move that one to where they need it. There's a lot of options there. You still won't need that other truck. We've got that extra truck, and I know it ain't good as what they're going to get. It ain't as good as what Moortown's got right now. But we already talked about it when we voted to begin with to do this.
But when we voted to do this, Eastside had a truck and everything was fine. terms change, things change.
I agree.
And if we would have foreseen this, we probably could have addressed this issue prior to this being bid. But like I said, you can't foresee, if we would have foreseen their truck turnout, we would have done that. You can't foresee that.
So do you just keep putting them off till we go back and redo all this stuff?
I don't know that.
I don't think so.
I don't know that it would be.
Take this step and then everybody back.
Would it be that big a deal to call Tim and ask him if we added 20,000 to that, if that would change anything on the interest rate? Or would it have to be through a sale bid again?
It has to be a completely new one. They cannot modify that. We only got a month to act on that anyway. I'm sorry.
Look, we just wanted to know, Tony, this guy from Friendship, have y'all dealt with him before?
No, Jason Barrett's the one that went down there and looked at the trucks. It wasn't any of the fire chiefs or nothing like that, so I mean, we can't say.
TJ and I were with him.
Okay, DJ Daniel?
Okay, you went, well, you come here, you went and talk to him. Come up here.
I guess my biggest question is,
yeah.
where
It's a lot
did the
of
magic
TJs.
number 65,000 come from? Was that the first truck that Gasaway was looking at, what they were looking to buy?
I think so. I think that was.
And then West Side.
That was the basics of
That was,
it.
That number came, that's what
That
we
come
gave
from
Auburn.
the truck,
Right, it was a base.
Moretown guy, yeah. So that's what everybody's shooting.
Buying the truck from a
That was
different place.
that was the baseline
Sure.
we gave
Okay, well,
them.
this guy doesn't have anything to do with the $65,000 number. It's not like he's lowering his price to give us 3 trucks. I think there's some confusion there.
Yeah.
We had another supplier
This
selling us
the
a truck
130 is
for
not going to this guy in
$65,000.
Friendship.
No, I know that.
Okay.
They're
And
gonna
I think
go,
that's
Because Gasaway was granted 65,000.
130
Then
wasn't
West
going
Side
to
truck
Friendship.
needed to be replaced. And it was
Okay,
saying
you-
that they should get
Right, you understood
an
that.
equal
Okay,
amount.
all right.
Be- Okay, well, either way it went down, I mean, I wasn't in all of it.
We've got
This gentleman in Friendship is a totally separate entity from the price of the truck.
The way I understand it too is, y'all went with them trucks, but he's trying to throw in an extra truck at a better price for the county, is that right?
Right.
You know.
And you went with and looked at the truck, tell them about the truck.
That's what I say.
They're, majority of them are equal on, they're all aluminum body trucks, they have a 1,000-gallon tank. They have-
Hold on a second, I can't listen. I would go ahead and agree that you're telling us the truth, you know, that you look
I
at.
missed it, man.
Well, no, I'm just saying, I'm gonna say that's what it is. That's not the problem that we're having right now. The problem that we're having right now is the fact that we have been going for months and months and months.
Here's what we want to do. Let's accept this bid from the bank, right? That's
Right.
what you need in motion, to accept this bid from the bank. I'm gonna make that motion. But I think we ought to go and offer this guy in Friendship, Tennessee, offer him $130,000 for 3 trucks.
Let him know it's gonna be paid.
Say, right now.
We've got the money.
We got the money right now. And help give somebody, Michael Underhill, be fine. Or Michael and
He's the spokesman for all the departments.
Yes.
all of the departments. Give Michael the authority, though, to go up to 150 if he had to. And then we'll take the rest of the 20,000 out of fund balance.
And you'll have your 3 other trucks that you can salvage, you'll get the.
And maybe that guy will come down and say, well, I'll give you 3 for 140, and we won't have to dip into fund balance with $10,000.
Take your 3
See what I'm
salvage
saying?
trucks.
Go shake with
what do you think about that?
Get all of them, get them.
I'm wondering how new is the newest truck they've got?
Let me ask you this.
It's better than what you got, ain't it?
Well,
No, that's not what we want, Mark. That's not what we want.
The one
Yeah.
that we saw that he was offering for that price were, the newest was like a 92, 93. So, yeah.
TJ Bogart, you went down there too, didn't you?
Yes.
What did you think about it?
$40,000 was the highest mile.
Good guy, good deal. He was willing to come
Going 18 years.
protest all the other trucks on that.
He can't afford to go.
Help us
I know, he
out.
can't afford to do that. You know
Anytime
that.
trucks need to be serviced, because people want to come up here and service the trucks and show us how to service them right.
Train us how to use it.
How to do it, so.
Okay, you asked my opinion, I want to give you my opinion. I would like to see us at least get something 95 or up, because 92, you're already over 20 years old. That's what we did the first time, and here we are, you're gonna be buying trucks and buying trucks and buying trucks.
and thing is, we may have to do it this way, because we can't buy the $200,000 trucks for everybody.
Oh, I know we can.
we may have to
Just
buy,
ask them.
we have to buy a Ranger to drive instead of a new F-250. You know,
Michael, when you get to a 92 model and stuff like that, now, we're talking about parts availability to repair these trucks if you need parts.
Depends on what brand they are.
Exactly.
Exactly.
See, that's what we're getting into too.
Yep.
When you get down to 92s, 90s, in that area right there with a 20-year span, then manufacturers no longer make repair parts for these.
You gotta look at
Grade won't even make a part last 10 years.
once you
Exactly.
approve it,
And see, that's federal
and
law.
then let them go
On his
and look.
approval. He's speaking for the fire department, so let's add in there, let
Pick
him.
out
they
who
have
you
to
want
meet
to
his
send.
approval.
Send them.
Send
Send your take west side, take guys away, take east side.
Right,
Long.
one of each
Send one,
department,
you
each
can send
round.
one from every department in the county, I don't care, send everybody.
Where
But,
Mike go?
They all got Detroit diesels in them, Allison transmissions, I mean, they're
right,
pretty
the only
standard.
thing, here's my only problem with what you're wanting to do. And I know you're wanting to do it because you're standing up. The night that we voted to do that,
Well, it never really got voted on.
here, oh,
Yeah.
whoa, no, wait a minute. The motion that was made was to buy 2 fire trucks and one of them to go to Gazaway and one to go to West Side.
That's right.
That's exactly what we voted on, and we voted to approve it.
They're getting trucks.
And we did that because she was told that if we bought trucks, she might not get what she wanted, so we specified where they would go. And that's the only reason it was specified was because we weren't assured by the fire board where them trucks would go. She's gonna get her truck. And West Side's gonna get their truck, because that's what we voted to do. If we can work out a deal to where East Side, whose truck broke down the day after the meeting, after we voted to do that, was the first time I heard that it was out of service. If we can work out a deal to get a truck for them too, for an extra 20 grand, that'd be great.
I love Mark's idea.
But first off, we need to follow through with what we told her we were gonna
Let me
do.
say, the guy that I talked to did say if we bought 2 trucks, he could give us a better deal. So, I mean, we could probably get it for less.
There may be lots of other places out there that'll do all
So
that.
you're willing to go to Friendship?
I'll go look.
What year truck are you looking at?
95.
That's that big, what is it, yellow one?
It was white with red stripes, but I think.
I'd say it's gone, right? If it was that good.
Well, see, she said 95, there's not that much difference between a 95 and a 92. You know, I mean,
I imagine it's like any vehicle if you take care of
Check
it.
in on
yeah.
that. We can see what we come up with.
I make a motion that we accept a $130,000 bid from First National Bank. And that we try our best to get 3 trucks with $130,000.
Do you have a time allotment? Because the bid was given out on May 25th and we're approving it tonight.
We're gonna accept the bid for the money.
Right,
We're gonna have the money
and
in
so
our
we're gonna do
account,
it tonight.
And
But
we're
we-
gonna spend $130,000. If that won't buy but 2 trucks, then that's as much as it'll buy, but we hoping it'll buy 3 trucks. And we're gonna get as close to that as we can, but we're not gonna go above 150. So you just go down there, you know, if you got to spend, if you end up just buying 2 trucks for 110,000, you know, we'll have 20 left over.
And make sure that the next trip that goes to Friendship involves the fire board as a whole.
No, it will.
And not just one department or 2
This
departments
man-
met down here on the square in the middle of the night to go up there.
No, I didn't know nothing about that.
I know you didn't, that's the problem.
He's
Make sure
agreed
that
to come
it's
and
done
pump
right.
test these trucks and show us how, make sure that he,
Well, the guy that I talked to, these trucks were pump tested too.
yeah.
They'll all be pump tested. They won't sell
I got
them
one
pump
other
tested.
question
All right.
before we get to
Go
you.
ahead.
You said they had Detroits in them?
Yeah.
Are they 2-stroke Detroits or 4-strokes?
That's beyond my realm.
They're the new Detroits.
They're not two-stroke.
They're not
Series
2-strokes.
B4 here.
Series
14,
60s.
60s.
Being 90 models, I'd say they're 4.
Yeah.
Okay,
You hear
okay.
my motion?
Can I?
Go ahead.
Before you make a motion, you're just voting to accept the bid from the bank.
That's right.
Right.
Will there be a vote to allow a $20,000 increase in general fund?
Whoa.
To go up to
To
150,000.
go up to 150 if he's not willing to go for 130.
You need to vote on this,
That's a
First.
as a separate motion,
Okay.
and then
Good.
authorize him with another motion.
We're gonna have
That is
two-
a good question.
We're gonna have 2 motions. First motion is to accept the bid at the bank. $130,000, 1.98.
Seconded by Jim. Okay, Bobby, if you would call the roll on that.
Wait a
minute.
I just thought of something. Does this, there's something that I saw the other day and I wanted to ask about, and I got all caught up there and forgot it. There's supposed to be do we have a cost analysis on this loan?
Yeah,
Is that what these are?
There was one attached to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in there.
It shows everything that
There's the amortization paper in there.
Well, see, the thing is, that's one of the good things that was for First National Bank. I mean, it was pretty well straightforward out.
I want to make sure, we approved the debt policy, and I want to make sure that this thing was done, every piece of it, by that debt policy. Because the one thing that's going to happen with these debt policies, when we approve that debt policy, the comptroller is going to take, when this loan goes up there for him to approve, the comptroller has to approve these loans.
Right.
He's going to take our debt policy, open it up, read it, and or one of his clerks is, and they're going to go through this and make sure that everything we said we were going to do happened. So I guess what I'm asking is everything in our debt policy happened? Do we
Is it
have,
compliant is what you're asking?
do we have, there's supposed to be a detail of all costs that's prepared for the commission and the public to see. And CTO 53 is a line in that debt policy. I left my debt policy at home. But it says we'll do it. If we don't have all this stuff, if that's what this is, that's fine.
That's the official proposal.
That's the proposal.
Right.
We need to make sure that everything's done. And I'm saying that to, where do you go? I'm saying that to Mike and you both. Because if, I don't want that guy up there throwing this loan back at us and saying, oh, you said you was going to do this, but you didn't.
Yeah, right here you have on First Bank, what Mindy said put down, as far as any additional fees or charges other than interest rates. She goes, none. Rate and terms are subject to First Bank receiving a bank qualified letter, tax exempt. Also a copy of the 2013 budget to support the ability to repay the loan account. Okay, that evidently is everything that that comes along with this loan right here, or this proposal right here. And of course, she was at 3. But as far as First Bank, First National Bank,
It's right here.
what does it say?
It says, it's got the interest for each year, the principal for each year, and then it says, note any additional fees other than the interest rate, and it's blank. So there's no other fees.
So there's no other fees with it. And that's what I say, he's worked hard to get our business.
And Tim's price signed it.
Yeah. And like I say, First National Bank has worked hard to get this.
What we said we was going to do.
Okay.
The way the comptroller is feeling right now and acting right now with some of the things in other counties, especially with us, because we're going to pay for, they're going to make us toe the line because of what's happening with our other departments. They will send it back, and then they'll be sitting there another month or two till we get it right to get the truck. So I guess what I'm getting at is,
Would it be, you're asking if we maybe call the comptroller's office to ask what to be sufficient to make this go through is what you're asking, what legal?
I don't care how you do it, I just want to make sure that this is right, that goes by what we said we were going to do. Okay?
I wish that these questions come up before we do stuff.
I know, but I was studying through this week, and I thought, well, I wonder if what it says in our policy.
I looked at our debt policy. I have a copy of our debt policy right here.
I wrote the page on page, the third page of that thing. It talks about what the county executive and everything does.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not. I just want to make sure we dot our I's, and it doesn't come back to us. I just don't want to come back.
Okay, let's take 5 minutes, something like that. Enhanced decision. The objectives of this debt policy that Cannon County has adopted is enhanced decision progress, transparency, and identify all expenditures of principal, interest, and annual costs along with the issue specific transaction costs. Address hiring outside professionals. Address any potential conflict of interest issues. Additional requirements for due debt. Now, everything that I got was, here was that we did this in an open manner, okay? There was, the only thing that it shows that was a little bit different, I think, is the fact is that we needed to investigate, and that's what, one of the things here is that said we need to investigate. We know Tim Spry. It's not like we're getting in bed with some crooked person, you know. And I think that's one of the things that would happen, that the comptroller would look at on whether or not we did our homework there. Well, my goodness, everybody here was raised up with them, you know. Additional requirements for new debt. Since capital leases are typically the least used and most expensive means of financing, the county commission should fully understand the cost of the asset and borrow cost imputed, as well as whether they intend to use the asset through the end of its useful life, which is what we're going to do. That's one of the only other stipulations. I believe we're okay.
Okay.
If you were looking for somebody to say that we're all right, I believe we're okay. And if it comes back, I'll tell everybody, well, oops, you know, made a mistake. But anyway, let's get this passed here. Give some relief to these fire departments.
I made a motion to accept the $130,000 from First National Bank.
And it's done been seconded, yeah.
Mark Parker.
Yes.
Robert Reed.
Yes.
Todd Hollenberg.
Yes.
Jimmy Newman.
Yes.
Jim Bush.
Yes.
Kevin George.
Yes.
Clint Higgins.
Yes.
Tony Neal.
Yes.
Kevin Mooneyham.
Yeah.
Bob Stetson.
Yes. Now, Mark, you had something on this extra $20,000.
I make a motion that we authorize the fire board chairman, Michael Underhill, to work with this company at Friendship that they've already gone down to and see if he can buy 3 trucks for $130,000.
Why limit it to them?
Huh?
Why limit it to?
I'm not limited to them, but that's what, you can shop forever.
I do have a question.
You can shop forever.
I know, but
But if you make the motion that way, that'll limit your.
hey, it's come back to us.
They've already done the legwork already. If they find,
If he goes up there and they
they
don't like
find us
what they
3
find,
trucks, all right, they find us 3 trucks for $130 if he can, and go no higher than $150,000. And we'll take the other 20,
Salvage the trucks. And
we'll take the other $20,000 out of fund balance.
Well, all right,
Salvage.
so what is our fund balance? What is it looking at right now? That's another thing. I mean, you know.
Well, I'll tell you that
Would this not-
Eastside doesn't have a fire truck, I'll tell you that much.
Would this not fall under debt
If-
payment?
Under
Debt fund
service?
payment?
Debt service?
Yeah.
Well, could you do it that way? Could you go
You
back
could,
and
yeah,
repay
you-
it?
Because if we had done it originally
Yeah.
and said that 150 that we
Right.
tried to borrow from, it would come right back.
but you could go back and do
Do a capital outlay.
another loan. And if you could get the same kind of interest
But
rate,
Mark, I
30
think
years.
what Karen, she may have a different company that might give us 3 fire trucks for $150 or $130. Or I think she's trying to put out there is there might be another company.
Well, just leave it open.
I'm not
Right.
trying to keep each side from the truck. That's not what I'm about. I want us to get a good truck when we get one. And if it's, what I'm worried about is going down there and these trucks are not suitable. What do we do then?
Then we
That's why I
go,
want down there.
right, then you
That's
go,
why
then find
it's
another,
down
then find
there
another.
again, and
Right
TJ
by.
Bulldog's
Right
already
there.
gone down there. and-
Right there is it.
Now, we're
It's
not
gotta
going to
come
make
through
you
my-
bond if you get arrested down there for wanting to get that best truck.
It's gotta, it's gotta come through Michael Underhill.
Michael is a fire board chairman now, and we're gonna give him some work to do.
Okay?
So do we go with him or not?
Yes.
I can't imagine he wouldn't want you to.
You may have to go, or Julio may have to go, I don't know.
Somebody else may.
I'll be fine with going back down there again. That guy seems legit. He told us he put us on a rotation, that after we bought 3 trucks, that 5 years down the road, he bought back and sell us something better.
And that's what the whole plan of this was.
Yeah.
Is
That's what
eventually,
I'm talking about, yeah.
Okay, so, and we want you to do the best con job you can now. Now, Paul, you,
Don't you have to rescind the vote you made for them for $65,000 each before you vote on $150,000?
We can't
No,
because we already did,
You already approved it.
the only,
You already already.
No,
No,
we didn't give them a direct amount.
What
We
we're
just-
voting on is whether or not to approve the loans that we went out and asked for bids on. And to change that amount on that one, from 130 to 150, we gotta go back and rebid and do all that
Right,
again.
but you've already told her to buy one at 65, and him to buy one at 65.
Oh, you're saying to cut them back to 45 apiece or 55
Right.
apiece?
But you've already agreed on that, didn't you, both the last meeting?
We already agreed on the 65.
Right. They already
And
accepted the loan.
Here's the thing about the 65 and the 55 and the 45. 65,000, they ain't getting a lot of truck to begin with, okay? They're not. It's a Canyon County truck. It ain't a Murfreesboro truck. That's what they're getting. They're getting about what we can afford to pay for.
But maybe we need to think in terms of better equipment every time we buy, instead of taking the second best everything. We take the second
Yeah.
best of the school system.
And that would be great.
We have to spend extra money, yeah, but if we know it's going for the right purpose.
We would be trading in a 1974 truck for a 1994 truck.
That's-
I'd say that's a pretty good upgrade.
Here's the problem with stepping way up is that just as soon as we do that and we ask you for a dime on your tax rate, you buy trucks with it.
I'll put it with that with the school system.
And that's what we're looking at, Paul.
If you make sure it goes to the school system and used appropriately, people don't mind seeing stuff used correctly, but you go back and find all the stuff that's wasted over the years, it's hard to get
But that makes, that's the difference in you and a lot of other people. A lot of other people don't care where it goes, they just don't want to pay the dime. And they vote just like me and you do.
I really think people could hold out there and say if anybody knows where the money was going, that they had to give it to the kids to have decent schools.
Well, you're talking at the school board, not
But we need
us.
to give them better stuff, equipment, people. I don't disagree with giving money,
I know.
but I disagree with wasting money. $100,000 grant for this building out here, that some of the work's not been completed yet.
I think everybody at this table really thinks hard and works hard to try not to waste it.
Paperwork, $100,000 grant on stuff that shows that the work's not completed.
All right, Bob.
Move on.
Okay, thank you, Paul. All right, then we have, what,
Motion to authorize the fire board chairman to go get us 3 trucks for 130, not go over 150.
and so, but that's not clarifying. One of the things that's clarifying is that we are going to guarantee that 20,000.
That's right.
Yeah, if we vote for it, we'll have to
Right.
take it out of fund balance.
I want to make sure that
Can
everything
we,
was clear.
we need to see if we can't get back into debt services or pull
Well,
out.
at that point, we can decide how to, where to come up with
Okay.
that money.
I think at this
that
point,
right?
we worked a lot
That's right.
hard. We worked hard to get this,
We've worked hard to get this far, and the people want to see their fire
Right.
departments have better trucks than a 74 model.
yep. So, let's go ahead. We have a motion by Mark Barker,
I'll second.
and Clint Higgins seconds it. And if you would call the roll, Bobby.
We're going to spend 130, but we can go up to 150, is that right?
Correct.
Right.
So we're going to do a little doing.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
We're gonna get 3 trucks. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go out and buy 3 trucks. And that's
We're authorizing the fire board.
authorizing Mike to buy 3 trucks. I vote yes.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
Todd Hollenberg,
Yes.
Jimmy Magnus,
Yes.
Jim Bush,
Michael, when you go look at these things, make sure they're mechanically sound, right?
Will you come with it?
Huh?
Will you come with it?
You a mechanic?
Do you even know where Friendship is, Jim?
On the weekend? Say what again?
Be on the weekend.
Yeah.
We done been here long
For
enough.
Sunday. He made us on Sunday the first time.
Maybe a Sunday, he says.
Okay, I can't do it this weekend, but I can go next weekend.
Yeah, good to take. That's what he does.
There you go.
I'll go.
You'll vote? Yes. He votes yes.
Kevin George,
Yes.
Clint Higgins,
Yes.
Tony Neal,
Yes.
Kevin Mooney,
Yeah.
Bob Stetson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Now,
No, I got one more thing for the fire department. Got it.
okay.
Okay. Jim asked me to get inventory equipment list from every fire department.
Right.
I understand that you already have
More time.
more
East side,
town and
east
east
side.
side. So here's the rest of the departments. Also, I Tim, I already had the file on the rescue
That's
squad,
fine.
so you'll have the rescue squad in that package too.
That's fine.
Then you won't have to ask me for that.
That's great, we appreciate it.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Mike.
Yes, sir. There's 10 of them, so.
Now, gentlemen, since we've got a working inventory of the fire departments, are we done with our other business?
We got one more business that was handed to us before we did it, and it shows that it was adopted this 12th day of June, so I know that it is current, and that is a resolution for levying an additional sales tax and use tax here in Cannon County. I thought this was a debt issue. Did somebody else bring it up?
No, we just rescinded
We
the resolution we made
Because you couldn't
because
vote.
we voted on it too early. We're supposed to bring it up again this month.
Okay.
Because it's got to be put on the ballot between 45 to 60 days. Yeah.
We rescinded it because it's the time too early.
Sure, I understand that. Yeah, I was here.
I know.
I was,
The other vote was too early. That was
Right,
only-
yeah.
That was the only problem, it was too early.
Just a timing issue.
now, let's have a little talk about this just a minute. I had voted yes the last time, as far as that goes. And since that time, I have several people that have talked to me, and evidently a half a cent to them is just,
This is a full penny.
for a penny. Whatever. We're a penny underneath Rutherford County, right?
Yeah. And McMinnville and,
That's the way that the
All
people
the
said they
surroundings.
liked it.
well, that's why we're putting it
On
on
a
the ballot, to
referendum,
let
and they
them
can-
vote on it.
Right.
They can either turn it down or vote for it.
Okay. I like the idea that it's going on about.
It's not gonna work.
I knew that we couldn't pass it.
You've
That-
also got Nashville that lowered the tax rate going into effect on food, 0.25%, and we're gonna ask the residents of this county to vote themselves 4 times that tax back on.
No, we're just gonna give them a chance to vote it down.
It'll be their decision. They can vote yes or no, just like everybody.
And it will not be on prescription drugs, it won't be on your haircut, it won't be on rent,
It'll be on food,
it will be on food, but it's
be
lower
on
than,
the gas.
yeah.
And see, 50% of this goes to the school system.
Automobiles, yeah.
And it'd be up to them to vote.
And it'll be up to them. It'll be up to the citizens if they want this money to go into Woodbury will get most of it. City of Woodbury will get most of it.
Yeah, because we don't have it
Cannon
down in
County
the
gets about $50,000 a year sales tax. That's all we get.
When did we get that?
And if we get
That resolution?
if this resolution passes to the people, we might get $60,000 instead of 50. It's not that big a
Can we
deal for
vote on
Cannon
that?
County. The school system is from, it's a pretty
County
good show.
handbook? Huh? Does the county handbook say we're supposed to get it ahead of time?
I'm the one that handed it out, and we voted at the last meeting to rescind it and bring it up again at this meeting.
Okay.
That's right.
And we didn't make agenda for, I don't know.
I didn't make agenda, and to be honest with you, I thought it was a dead issue after that. I didn't hear anything else after that. And then probably personally, I just had people telling me no like that, and I just let it slip.
That's okay.
Now, this board had a chance to raise taxes, revenue. This board had a chance to raise revenue at the last meeting, voted down. You would have raised sales tax, you would have raised business tax, you would have raised the beer wholesale tax. And this board voted it down. Would not have raised an iota of tax rate on nobody. And now we want to ask the people to vote any on.
So, we got a motion right now to put it before the people, and then, Russell, do you have another motion? I'm just curious. Okay.
Have you made a motion, Tony?
They voted it down every time we put it on.
Well,
Let them do it.
Well,
I mean, it ain't gonna cost us some more.
yeah, I can make a motion. I didn't think we needed one because we voted the last meeting to bring it up again this meeting. But
Well-
I'll make a motion that we put the sales tax on the ballot for the people to vote on.
In August general election.
We got a second on it?
I'll second.
Mark got a second. Go ahead, Bob.
Mark Martin,
Yes.
Russell Reed,
No,
Todd Hollenberg,
Yes.
Jimmy Mangles,
Yes,
Jim Bush,
I'm like Russell, we had an opportunity to do this without having to go through this. I vote no.
Kevin George,
Yes.
Ted Higgins,
Yes.
Tony Neal,
Yes.
Kevin Mooneyham,
I'm willing to see if the people will tax themselves other than us having to do it all the time. I vote yes.
Bob Sutton,
No.
7 for and 3 against, motion carried.
What about the deal with keeping the stuff that you bought with fundraising money, the fire department? Were you gonna bring that up?
Oh, well, I thought Michael was. Yeah, that's why I passed on.
Have you got a resolution there to do that or anything?
No.
Bring it
Bob, you got other business?
There is no other business, but like I said, I'm recessing this meeting until June 29th.
But if you recess it, then nothing will be
Can we
final,
do it?
right?
Can we do it other besides the 29th?
Anything that was
That's on a
passed.
Friday.
But if you
That's the last working day
recesses, though, wasn't it?
of the month, I believe. When's June 29th?
So,
It's a Friday, isn't it?
sure.
Why is it
Could be a
necessary to
Saturday.
recess? Why is it necessary to recess? Is there some reason we're recessing instead of adjourning?
Yeah, because there's no sense calling a special called meeting.
Okay.
Because there's other stuff that needs.
That's fine.
And like I say, we'll be cleaning up the budget amendments,
Okay.
and we'll be doing the budget itself.
Why can't you do it on the 30th on Saturday?
Anything,
Why not the 28th? See, I won't be able to make it if that's
If it's on the 30th.
or the 29th.
It just gives you the authority to carry on your business till the new budget comes through.
And we're not gonna cost the people
But
anything.
it'll be on the last day.
Right. We didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about that resolution to extend
The
to,
continuing resolution will be
Continuing.
passed on the 29th or whatever day if we need it.
yeah, okay, that's good. We'll do that on the,
Can we do the 28th?
what day do y'all want, now, I tell you, somebody gotta have to make a decision here, and I will, but I wanna hear, is 29th bad?
Is that a Friday? It's a Friday, isn't it?
It's a Friday, yeah. See, I
What about a
won't make it.
Saturday on the 30th?
Can't make
You
that
can't
either.
make that either.
Well, you can't make it on Friday either.
You can make it on Thursday.
I can make it on
though.
Thursday. That's what I'm saying. I'll make it the 29th
You can't be on
or the
Thursday.
28th instead of the 29th.
I'm here now.
He's here right now.
But-
And we'll just
Do
make
it Thursday.
do it on
on
Thursday
Thursday,
night.
the 28th, and it'll just be a short meeting. We'll either make the continuing resolution or we'll consider budget amendments. Is that correct?
That's fine. I just wanna make sure that the business.
We're recessing till the 28th.
Yeah, and I'll be, that's not the only thing we're talking about now. This is not a special call meeting,
But
but
I got other business.
right now,
All right, go ahead.
okay.
All right, gentlemen, now since we've got our inventories from all of the fire departments, I want to make a motion now that we have a full written inventory of the Emergency Management Agency and all their equipment.
I'll second that motion.
When do you want it by?
We want it by our next meeting,
Next scheduled meeting?
next scheduled
Next
meeting.
scheduled.
Okay, which will be the 14th of July, on a Saturday.
I got something too.
Let's do mine then.
Yeah.
We'll
Do
do
yours,
yours.
yeah.
I do mine, you do you.
All right, just
All in favor?
all in favor? Those opposed? Okay, now,
Oh,
Kevin Jordan.
I got an issue with the committee. They changed the fire department, the fire board chairman. And on I think it's Homeland Security Committee, it has on there for the fire board chairman to be on that committee.
That's right.
Do we need to change the actual name, or does it just change with the title?
I think it should.
It just changed with the title.
Yeah, I think it changes.
But when we approved our committees in October, we didn't approve, it doesn't say in there, it doesn't say fire board chairman. It's got a name. So I wonder, for that to be right, do we need to specify a name? Or do we need to go back and amend the committee list as, with that title instead of a name?
Can you bring it up on the 28th?
I sure can.
All right.
That's something for y'all to think about.
Yeah.
There's gonna be another one that's changed too.
We need to make sure that we keep those right. And we need to.
Bobby, we are recessing until the 28th of June at 6 o'clock.
We need to specify the representative. Sounds good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know it.
You need to give me a package like you give everybody else.